These 3 tips are about to change the game when it comes to buying your first home. What's up everybody, I'm CJ.
I'm Brogan.
Thank you for checking in to another episode. Today we're bringing you the 3 essential tips for purchasing your first home. So grab a pen, grab some paper, because these 3 tips are about to change the game when it comes to buying your first home.
So our first tip when buying your first home is to find the best agent in your desired area. This agent's likely connected and experienced within that area, and it's somebody you've probably seen around town. These agents typically have the ability to find and put together off-market deals as well as right winning offers. They have inside tricks such as escalator addendums and different little small things to make your offer more presentable to the sellers. At the LeGrand Group, we've got you covered. With over 20 years of experience in the Madison market, we help our buyers win even in competitive markets. Last year, we closed nearly $20 million in sales, and this was because of our expertise in the little small things that set us apart from the majority.
Tip number 2 that we have for you guys is that you should define your desired home. Obviously, you guys want to know what you want to have in your first home. Know many bedrooms, know the layout, the style. That stuff is really important to know when you're looking at a house to be able to decide, hey, is this a property for me or is this not? So something that I think is really important is to, one, understand that this is your first home. It's okay, it may not be your perfect, absolute dream home, but that's going to be something that is really important for you, and you want to be able to be happy in your home, but just keep in the back of your mind that if you don't have everything on the list, that's okay. This is your first property. A little analogy that we like to use here at the LeGrand Group is the stoplight. So green, yellow, and red. Green is going to be your absolute must-haves. You have to define, these are the things that I cannot live without in my home. So maybe that's an open layout. Maybe that's a bedroom, a second bedroom on the first floor with the owner's suite for, let's say, your first child, something like that. Yellow is going to be your stuff that would be awesome to have, but isn't going to break the deal at the end of the day. So that may be something like granite countertops. Like, sure, that'd be really nice, but if I can't get that, like, I'm going to be okay. And then the last thing that you need to define is your red light. What is an absolute no-go for you? So these are things that you cannot have in your house that are really going to drive you insane when you're in that first home. So that can be something that's not an open layout, that's really closed and sectioned off, that can make it feel really tight for you. Or maybe it's something that the ceilings aren't high enough, so you just feel stuffed up all winter. So you really have to be able to define those 3 things, define your stoplight, and that's going to help you find what your desired home is, and that's going to help you and your agent be able to find the perfect property for you.
So tip number 3 we have for you is to find a great lender. This is oftentimes somebody that your real estate agent can recommend to you, or maybe somebody that your parents or friends have used in the past. The lender is going to be essential throughout the home buying process. They'll provide you with the financing, and they'll set you up with the most important thing, the pre-approval. The pre-approval letter is something that oftentimes, side tip, we can send that in with an offer, and it really shows the sellers that we're actually super interested. This is a property we're very serious about. Here's our financing, we're approved, we're ready to go, we're ready to close, we want your house. Finding a good lender is important because they'll let you know how much money you need to set aside for a home within your price range. Additionally, like I mentioned before, they'll get you locked and loaded with that pre-approval letter. This pre-approval letter is essential in the home buying process, especially in a competitive market. Whenever you find that first home that you really want to pull the trigger on, this pre-approval letter will put you ahead of the field when it comes to submitting your first offer.
All right, and there you guys have it. Those are our top 3 tips for purchasing your first home.
A quick little recap of what we discussed today. Tip number 1 was to find a good agent. This agent's going to really help walk you through the home buying process.
Tip number 2 is finding out what you most desire in a property. Sit down and write it out, fill out your stoplight, and really find what you absolutely has to have, what you would like to have, and then the things that you cannot live with.
And then tip number 3 is financing. The pre-approval letter is the most important part of this. When you really find that dream home of yours, send that pre-approval letter off and you're good to go.
Boom, and we're out of here. Let's go.
This is good. I like the,
yeah,
it feels much more natural.
Absolutely.